Hey there, it's Derek from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan. We're looking here at a Toyota Rav4, this one second generation. And this one interesting for me because it's a two-door short wheelbase version. In my country, we only got the four-door longer wheelbase version. And so having a smaller four-wheel drive, higher ground clearance car, it is very appealing. Kind of like a step up in comfort from the Suzuki Jimny slash Samurai, but a big step back from something like that. Also made by Toyota Land Cruiser there. So this one was bought from auction, and we're going to be sending this one over to Finland. And do like the short wheelbase on it. Now this one here has a body kit on it. Condition of the car is pretty good. Interior is a little bit dirty, but the auctions are direct purchase. They're not, it's not meant for the end user per se, more meant for dealers to buy their stock from. And so most of the cars come in a little bit dirty, but then they come in at the appropriate price that you can buy them for the purpose of reselling if you want. That's what a lot of our business is. And so I got the auction inspection sheet here. You can have a look at that in just a second, and I'll translate that from Japanese into English for you. But just to the beginning, we got a 2-liter engine. What 2-liter is in here? It's the 1ZFE, I think. Let me just check. No, 1AZFSE. So that would be a direct injected 2-liter engine. It puts out to 150 horsepower and about 150 pounds-feet of torque, which I don't know in other metrics because I'm Canadian and we're stupid that way. We don't use pounds in Canada, but we still use pounds-feet for our torque measurements. I don't really know why. You can hear the difference in the engine. I said in the other video that comes with this report that it sounds a little bit like top-end sounds coming from it. These are similar sounds as you'd get from a direct injected engine, just simply by nature of the design. And so I don't think that this sound is anything outside of the normal. Now I'm going to lower the hood here. And it is a little bit interesting that during this time they had a very popular 2-liter inline 4-cylinder at Toyota, and they chose not to put that engine into this. That was the 3S engine, which was ubiquitous from 1986 until like 2005 or so. They used it in many different applications. I believe that they would have used this engine for the fact that it gives you more low-end torque than that engine, which is really a torque at the high end. And for a truck-ish type thing, that'll be more appealing to a lot of people, even though you'll probably get worse fuel economy out of it. And so there's a little bit of a trade-off there. With the direct injection, in fact, you might get good fuel economy, and it could be that it was just too expensive to put direct injection into their earlier engine design. Anyways, let's go over the auction inspection sheet here. It's a year 2000 Rav4 XG package. I don't really know what that means. Of course, it's 4-wheel drive. Auction grade 4 with an interior C. I'd say that that's pretty appropriate. And then once you clean up the interior, you may even be able to get that up to what they would consider a B interior. So it's original pearl paint, 134, 753 kilometers on it, which for Japan is kind of high, but it is a Toyota. It's going to last a pretty long time, so I wouldn't be too worried about that by any means. As a keyless entry here, this is a sales point from the seller. And then owner's manual and warranty papers come with it, and that'll have some history of the mileage and what repairs were done while it was in warranty. Looking at the notes here, interior dirty and wear, door molding has paint peeling. Now the door molding is either this piece here or around here or this section there. Now this side looks to be pretty good. Let's go over to the other side to give you a quick look at that. You can see a little bit of discoloration there, but as a whole, I'm not too concerned about that. I don't know really what the inspector was thinking on that. Let's look at everything else here. We got a fender mirror, has one piece missing. And the fender mirror is something cool that we don't get in Canada. It helps you park here in Japan. The back piece is missing. It would be, I guess, pretty easy to get one of those back pieces because one of these mirrors isn't that expensive. And then you can just scavenge that mirror for this one. It looks like the clips are maybe broken, so the whole thing could be replaced. But some people, they don't even need these, and it is kind of detrimental for aerodynamics, so you could just take it off and then fill those holes if you wanted. Just give you a quick look at what the car looks like. And like I said, this one has a body kit on it, which kind of ruins the ground clearance. I don't know if it does anything for fuel economy when you're driving, but a body kit like this would be mostly put on for style. Okay, so looking at the diagram here, we got A2, which is a medium scratch on the front bumper. I'll show you those. U3, which is a large dent on the front grille here. This paint crack on the hood and some U2 medium dents. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this for a sec. The hood has some dents. Probably the worst one is this one right here. So have a look there. I think saying U2 is a little bit strict on it because as a whole, it looks really good. Now the grill is an aftermarket one, and it looks like by design it's easy to push in. So you can see there where they considered that a U3. I wouldn't say is really that bad because you just open up the hood, you give it a knock knock, and then you have a grill that's not dented. Now the paint crack, it's right here. It's not really as bad as it could be. It's a single crack. And it looks like this damage happened at the same time as this was pushed in. Maybe somebody did a drop kick to the car and they didn't like the owner or something. I don't know. Faded headlights, they are yellow. That's an easy fix. And then cool fog lights at the bottom there. I'm gonna get back to the auction inspection sheet, but before I do that, here's the A2. And there's another one over here. Same location. All right, back to the inspection sheet. So we got a U2 here, which I really didn't notice. And then side skirts are scratched on both sides. And then paint peeling on the back. I'm gonna show you the paint peeling on the back. I don't think really anything else is worth mentioning because the body as a whole is pretty good. So the paint peeling is on this section here that goes above the license plate. And this section here. Now, other than that, I think that the body's pretty good and the paint is pretty good. And this is a good thing because when you see headlights that are faded like this, and it says there's peeling paint on the back, when you read between the lines, it kind of gives you an idea that the car may have paint that's going to need to be repainted soon. Maybe some of the other paint or clear coat is rather thin, and then you can only polish it a certain number of times before it's all gone. But by the look of the car, that's not really the case. It looks like the bumper prematurely faded compared to the rest of the paint, which looks pretty glossy and nice. And then it has this hard cover on the back, which is kind of cool. And it does look really cool and small. It's kind of like a 4x4 Vitz or Yaris. A little bit bigger, a little bit wider, but I think an appropriate size car. And being just a little bit bigger than the Vitz is going to make the car drive a little bit nicer. You know, a little bit longer wheelbase makes it drive a little bit better, but you still get the fuel economy savings of a small car, a small lightweight car. And it is a cool looking car. When this one came out, I think it's a big step up over the first generation in terms of looks, and I still to this day think it's a really good looking car. Quick look at the side panel here. Oh, and peeling paint on these side pieces. Now the door is mostly metal. Oh, and you can see the pearl there at the top maybe. I can. I don't know if you can. Oh, there we go, you can see it a little bit there. So, cool pearl paint. And I think this is what they were talking about with the door moldings. Maybe I was just being crazy. So you can see it is paint peeling, but it's like a piece of plastic that they put onto the door to prevent it from getting door dings. And so it would be an easy thing to peel, like pull that off and repaint it, or you can repaint it while it's on there too. If you wanted, you just tape up around here, depends on how much money that you want to put into it. Or you can paint it black, or you can paint it orange, or any color that you want. Now we'll go to the interior pretty soon here. First off, we'll go into the back section, and unlike pretty much any other Toyota that I can think of, it has a full-size sideways swinging door, which is kind of cool, but also kind of not cool, because if you park right next to somebody, you need a lot of room in order to open that. Most people in Japan will park back ways first, and so this is a weird design choice for Japan, but I think in most other countries you park nose in, so you would have room behind you in order to open it. It makes it easy to fit large things in, I guess. A giant opening here. And another thing too is the doors are giant on this. I think that the 2-door might even have bigger doors than the 4-door version. Okay, so foldable seats there. We got a Toyota Chamois, which is kind of dumb because Chamois are dumb. You shouldn't ever use them. It's used to like remove water off your car after you clean your car, but they're not absorbent, and so it just moves dirt around if there's any left. And I think that these flip again. Let's have a look. So you can do extra if you want the extra in terms of the room. Pull this, that looks pretty easy. Wow, I just hit that chair and the front came out. Wow, it's really easy to take these out. I didn't know that you could take these out. Look. Oh, and they're lightweight too. You can just take them out and set them in your garage if you want, they have hinges at the front that pop the seat completely out. So if you don't have any kids that you want to put into the back, you can have a lot more cargo room. And actually this here in the back, if you take these back seats out, is almost the same, maybe even more than the Land Cruisers, because they actually don't have that much room in them for how large that they are. So I'll put that extra seat in there pretty soon. I'll just move this one up for the time being so that you can see. And these are adjustable as well. You can see what that seat looks like. Open the giant doors. That's big enough for Japan's current sumo wrestler king, Yokozuna, I guess, to get in, I suppose. Open up here, and that's what your seat looks like from the inside. The lady told me to turn the engine off, even though it's one of the world's quietest engines. Okay, so that's what the seat looks like. As you can see, lots of room for you to get in here. And back seat size check, here we go. Plenty of room. Cool, I like it. Now headliner's pretty dirty, you can see there. So that's gonna need to be washed. And generally speaking, the interior is pretty dirty on this one. Now, I'm not too worried about dirty interiors that can be cleaned. And but usually the cars come in a little bit cleaner than this, but buying from auction, you never really know how clean your interior is going to be until you get the car. Okay, so going into this side here, the front section. Oh, did I say how big the doors are? Okay, so we got a tiny bit of wear on the seat here. And the seat, it kind of feels a little bit weird to me. Maybe I'm used to harder or sportier seats, but the seat feels a little bit soft in the back section, like it needs more lumbar support. Okay. Electric folding mirrors. The same steering wheel as my Toyota company car. That's cool. Mine is all worn out like this one here is too. You can see extra wear there and over here. And okay, you can't see the mileage because there's no key in there. I did get another video of that, but I suppose I'll show you here on the YouTube version. 134,845 at the time of shooting this. Card o irete kudasai. It says, please put a card in. And I'm going to say, no, I'm not going to put a card into you because that's a toll collection box. And we're not actually going to send the car out with our credit card like toll collection card. Okay, pretty standard fare there. Automatic transmission. We have a cigarette lighter here and one more here. We get paper. What do we got? What? A map on the back of a business card? And somebody's phone number. Yeah, we should give them a call. Hotel, 7,800 yen. I'll just put those here. They can be a present for the next owner. I found the weirdest things in some of these cars. Looks like cup holders are adjustable. And this one here is a radar detector. It's plugged in up there and then it has the wire here. And so you can have this as just a storage place, or you can make this smaller to be the size of your drinks. Okay, so shifting is good, power steering is good, brakes are good, that's all been checked, engine response is good, and the AC works. And so everything mechanically looks to be pretty solid. There's a little bit of this kind of feeling to the interior, but once again, not the biggest deal. Okay, floor mats, a little bit of maybe deterioration or maybe just dirtiness. Okay, and there's really nothing else to say, so I'm going to go shoot a Land Cruiser next. And that's going to be the end of this video, so hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.